All barricades erected. Area lockdown. Team deathmatch. Delta team, you are clear to engage.
It's good to be back, and let me tell you, this kill right here is crucial. Had I not been an idiot and selected the wrong class in the beginning, I wouldn't have ran out in front of that guy and said, hey, shoot me please so I can get the right class I need for this map. And I would end up joining the 30-0 club. This map, I go 30-1 on Team Deathmatch with a MOAB, and we'll talk about some tips and tricks on how to achieve a MOAB specifically on this map. But it's kind of a bummer. I joined the 30-1 club, which is a much larger club than the 30-0 club, from what I've heard. But I do want to say it is good to be back. I went camping last weekend. I don't know if you'd really call it camping. It was more like backpacking in the mountains, about 25-30 miles or something crazy like that. And it was enjoyable at times, but the best way to describe it was probably just utterly painful. But I should tell you guys I did enjoy it. I need to say that because a few of the people that I went backpacking with will probably end up watching this video, and I don't want to make them feel really bad. But other than that, let's get back to the gameplay. A few tips and tricks I am going to point out to you guys. We'll talk about first the class setup specifically for Lockdown and what I've found that really works on this map. Here I'm using the MP7 with the gold camo because it's bling, you know, that whole bling thing. And I'm also using the dual attachments with silencer and rapid fire. And then my perks I'm using are Scavenger Pro, Hardline Pro, and Dead Silence Pro. And I do want to point out that Dead Silence Pro on this map really helps me a lot because when you're inside the buildings, the floors are wood, and if you use Turtle Beaches or you have a really good high quality surround sound system, you can actually hear the difference between the enemy footsteps when they're outside vice inside buildings, and it makes it really convenient to know where they're coming from, or you know which way they're going to enter the building, and it helps out a lot. And the other thing I want to talk about on this map is the Specailist bonus, which you saw I just picked up there. Now a lot of people do know the Specailist bonus gives you all the perks that you have in the game, whether or not you've unlocked them at this point, or if they're still locked through your own progression through the game. But it also gives you all of the weapons proficiencies, and I do want to mention that's the reason why I use the dual attachments with the MP7. I know a lot of people, since T Martin put his video out about how rapid fire doesn't make a huge difference on the MP7 because it doesn't increase the fire rate as much as it does like the PP90 or some of the other submachine guns, but if you're using the Specailist strike package, then there's no reason to put anything other than the dual attachments on, because once you unlock all your weapons proficiencies, you essentially have, you know, your focus and your range and your stability and all those other proficiencies that you might want to use in lieu of the dual attachments. So it's just something that I found useful specifically for this class setup and also for this map. And wow, that was a little 2-for-1 deal right there. I don't know what was going on with those guys, but again, you know, I talked about my last MOAB on Outpost that there's a few crucial things that you essentially need to get some MOABs in the game. The first one is playing with a good team that communicates to you, lets you know where the enemies are, you know, where their spawning points at, and just communication is a big thing all around. And the second thing is you got to be playing against a crappy team, unless you're like the greatest Call of Duty player of all time, which I'm not, and I tell you guys that probably in every other video. But there's just some guys in this game that are atrocious. Like here is a great spot where I probably could have died twice easily. But you'll see Recon Pro, which I unlocked with my Specailist bonus, kind of lit up that dude for you, and he doesn't come chasing me. So I basically run around the map and get to a safe point and start killing dudes again. The other tip I want to talk about is basically using the map effectively on lockdown. And I'll show you an overhead graphic where there's essentially 3 main corridors that the enemy travels from one side of the map to the other on. The biggest one is that center hallway where there's just an entrance on the east and west side. And I don't use that hallway. I never go down the center of that hallway because it's just where everyone goes. If you go down that hallway, you run into 3 or 4 dudes who are all trying to get across there at the same time. It's just kind of like a death trap. You don't want to go down there. I use this corridor to get across right here, which is the northernmost corridor, and this is a huge spawn point for the enemy. You'll always run into, you know, at least 2 or 3 dudes kind of running around here not really paying attention because they just spawned in. And like this guy here in the hallway's got Dead Man's Hand. I don't know how I survived that. That must be a blast shield bonus or something. But there you go. That's the MOAB for you. And as always, guys, leave tips, comments, likes, unlikes. I don't care. Whatever you want. Just let me know what you want to see more of. And if you are interested in joining the clan, send me a message on Xbox. I'm Mr. Throwing Knife with no R. So thanks again, and I look forward to playing with you guys later.